LeBron James!
Hey, hey, hey. All right, Tan. Oh, all of the
Oh,
lights, all of the lights are with LeBron James. This is faster than the Giannis saga. He's a Sixer.
yes, sir.
He's a Philly. Ooh, wow, 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 wow. Out of all the four teams that was expected, that he was expected to go, this was like my least expected.
Mm-hmm.
So the four teams we're talking about is Miami Heat, Cleveland, Golden State, Timberwolves maybe, and then this Philadelphia. I was, don't you think? Like I felt like this was the least expected place just because of the trade that just recently happened. But what do you think? What do you feel of LeBron James?
I mean, at almost 42 years old, LeBron still got the NBA on a chokehold, man. We
Wow,
got
it's
we got
insane.
even Adam Silver saying, is that true or I don't know if that's AI, but we have him saying like they can't finalize the schedule or something
Yep.
until LeBron make a decision. Like how much power does this guy have, man,
Mm-hmm.
at
Mm-hmm.
almost 42 years old? But the Philadelphia Sixers just got one of the best role players with that contract. That's a role player contract.
The best
One of the
veteran
best
contract I've ever seen.
in
Oh,
the
guess what?
history. Like,
Guess what? It's not 1 year. It's 2 years.
yep.
2 years.
I mean, this is insane. We were talking about, I think collectively the entire NBA fan base is saying in terms of the Sixers, like, Maxi, a really good scorer, VJ Edgecombe, just as a rookie was an insanely good scorer as well. Joel Embiid, one of the best scoring big men. And then, they got Jaylen Brown, another MVP scoring first guard, one of the best ones in the NBA.
Yep.
And then what? You added Anthony Simons, another scorer. You drafted another guy that is mostly a scorer, and we're all wondering like who's gonna pass the ball, like who's
Mm.
gonna make plays, and then we finally got the answer, man. LeBron James fit this team as a glove. I think he's gonna go back to that, times where he has to be the point guard, the facilitator, and I
Yep.
think it's the guy they're missing, and they've got a good one of the best one in the league still, and on a very cheap contract, like I said, which is insane. I think right now the East, the Sixers number one, man. In the East, the Sixers
Oh,
number one
okay.
right
Okay.
now with
Okay.
LeBron in there. All this talk about, oh, I'm just having fun for my last year, my last team. Championship, like I said, still brings happiness. Winning still brings happiness. And I think, as much as I thought, because nobody thought it's gonna be the Sixers,
Philadelphia.
but
Yep.
I thought it's gonna be in a contending team where they're gonna have some wins. And I think this is the only team, or this is the best team he could have possibly gone out of the remaining teams he's going to.
you know, as a LeBron fan, it hurts. As a Curry fan, it hurts because I wanted to see them both together, but it is truth be told, it is the Unk Nation there if they go to the Golden State,
Hmm.
and it is the best option. Tan, this is one of those times that I feel like we kind of it fits like a glove. I can't disagree because wow, like you have a Finals MVP, Jaylen Brown, um, and he was basically like top five in MVP last season. You have Joel Embiid, who was just an MVP too.
Hmm.
Tyrese, who's an All Star. VJ Edgecomb, who people are confused because this was your rookie. He's going into your second
Mm-hmm.
year, right? And you talked about Anthony Simons, and I was gonna say too, Dean Wade. He was gonna be the four. He's gonna be the power forward in this team, and now he's gonna slide into your bench.
Mm-hmm.
So not you. When I was looking at this, it looked top heavy, but this team can be dangerous when playoff comes. That's the thing. When they are healthy, if they're healthy, this is one of the most dangerous team, right? We know that we're not gonna see Joel Embiid with 82 games, right? We're gonna see um, the guy from New York that they just signed, Barlow, Bona, maybe on that five. We might not see LeBron as much too. He's in the vet
Yep.
minimum. He's 42, as we mentioned. So let's just say out of those two that is cycling through injuries, you have again, as you mentioned, VJ, Tyrese, oh, and
Yep.
Jaylen Brown. There is no way this team will be top four in the East, even with the injuries, and that's good. If you can get top four in the East in a very heavy East,
Mm-hmm.
might I say next season, I think that's really good. If he goes somewhere else, I think there is a lot of question marks. Like
Yep.
Miami Heat, how is the Bam and Giannis situation work? Yes, there is not a lot of passing in Philadelphia, but he fits there. Um, and I just want to look back at some recent stats. I looked at LeBron's stats recently. He was shooting 30% on the three last season, which is important because he was
Mm-hmm.
actually close to almost 40 before that. And if he goes to, let's say, Miami, there's not enough spacing, and that was one of their problems. He doesn't fix their problem. And again, Golden State or any other team, it's like a perfect fit with this Philly team. And oh, Dan, let me just before pass it back to you, the teams that will be in the East that will be in like basically in contention, right? You have New York, we have Indiana Pacers,
Mm-hmm.
we have I don't have the list away.
Pistons,
We have Pistons, yes, number one.
the Celtics,
Celtics, yeah. We have
Cleveland still,
Cleveland. We have Miami, as we mentioned. Um, who else is in there that I saw?
up and coming Washington, maybe.
Washington. No, Washington is very dangerous, I would say. Um, there was at least 10 teams. Let's just say that.
Basically the whole East. Atlanta Hawks, the Raptors.
Raptors, yes. Raptors, Atlanta Hawks. And I would say about 10 teams. About 10 teams can have a say who is going to be, oh, we're the best, one of the best
Mm-hmm.
in the East. So, it's not like he went to an easier conference from West to
Mm-hmm.
East. It's still going to be, and the fact that a 42-year-old can create this, you know, insane, just insane. But yeah, Tan. So Philadelphia is just now basically contender for next year. And
Yeah,
wow, just wow.
yeah. I mean, honestly, like we said, this is already a good team. That's why we were saying, look, this is the best
I
team.
that's the thing. It was the best team to me.
It was that's why we were saying this is the best team because it's already a really good team before he
Mhm.
even joins it. Because like a Tyrese Maxey is like borderline MVP candidate. He has a lot of defensive gravity as well as much as offensive power. Jaylen Brown is an MVP candidate, can be good in both ends of the floor, like we said, VJ Edgecombe. So this is almost a complete team, like we were talking about. It just needed a point guard. And there's we didn't know there's a 4 million point guard still remaining in the free agency, and they got the best free agent signing this offseason. I mean, like you said, those East teams are good, but this is on a different level. This is just they. I must say though, they have to play like in the USA team. They need to to find roles for each players because
Yep.
you cannot have four superstars playing. You need to have like I think one good player, but they all need to have roles. They all need to have a place in the system because man, this is gonna be crazy because Jaylen Brown was talking about, he's having fun last year when he has like when he was the number one guy.
Yep.
So I don't know if there's gonna be something there, but I think they just need to find roles for everybody. Somebody's gonna hustle, somebody's gonna play elite defense, somebody's just gonna be a stretch, guard or four or whatever, but everybody needs to find a role because this is like a USA team where like every single guy in the starting five is just an all-star caliber at least.
Yep. And when you're talking about that, I think one really important thing that people might not mention is their coach, Nick Nurse.
Mm,
Nick Nurse got a championship in Toronto when Kawhi was traded there,
hmm.
their first trip. And I would say Nick Nurse is not new to this. He got this. He'll be fine.
Yeah.
He'll be fine. So I think you have the perfect person to deal with that challenge. So I'm not even worried. I think the whole situation between having your number one, Jaylen Brown is somewhat used to that 1A, 1B situation.
Hmm.
I think Tyrese is just happy to have basically a team
Yep.
that he can rely on. I think that's going to be important. I think it's also very important for the growth of VJ Edgecomb to have so many talents around him. Like this team is just going to be insane, not just this year and next year too. Again, there is a lot of if, but if they are, I'm confident they'll be in top 4 in the East. If they're in that top 4, they'll they'll be okay in the playoffs because this
Hmm.
is an insane team. Um, and again, we the biggest factor is Joel Embiid. I would say, I think that is the biggest factor. And one other thing too is I don't know how many roster spots they have left, but we still have some free agents in
Yep.
the mix. And knowing LeBron, he's gonna have some of his friends coming to Philly, um, and just fill up the spots. If we can get like a Kevin Love, who is again free agent still, who was in the talks of like wherever Braun is, he would probably go. Um,
Hmm.
isn't that kind of insane to have him play 10, 15 minutes when Joel is down? He's not the same before, but I think it's gonna be nice to have that guy in your team, right? Between Barlow and Bona, like someone who can space out the floor. And I mean, Kevin Love was amazing in the Timberwolves uniform before. So I think if we can get like a Kevin Love in this team, I think it's just cherry on top to what this team can do. Um, but let's go back then to where it started. Paul George. So Paul George was in this team. Do you think LeBron would go to this team if Paul George was in this team?
I think weighing all the options, knowing what they achieved last year with that roster, I think Miami or even the Timberwolves outweighs that roster. I think it's not good enough. I
Yep.
mean, PG has has had some drug problems, had some injury problems, and you already add that to a very a lot of absences from Joel Embiid. It's not a good look for somebody that just want to be like he said, just want to have fun on his last career. I think it's gonna even add more troubles than fun. So I think if PG was there, I think it's not gonna work. I think he either goes to Miami or the Sixers or maybe even the Warriors because that team is just not good last year.
Yeah, so basically now, Paul George has been part of like 3 trades that resulted into massive implications. Um, insane. 76ers got Jaylen Brown, traded away Paul George and some first round picks in the future. And they got LeBron too. They got LeBron as part of the deal basically, which is insane to think about. Um so yeah, it's definitely something that is this Brad Stevens' fault? Is it like just something that people would look back, kind of like a Nico Harris situation, which is insane. It's not the same degree because they traded away like a Luka Doncic, but that is just insane to think about how the domino effect of it all
Hmm.
is this LeBron going to Sixers. Um, anything else that kind of like because we both feel like it's the perfect fit, and oh, one more other thing I think is very important. I think the overall with this Sixers team, they have a lot to prove,
Hmm.
and especially JB, he has a lot to prove. That trading me away,
Oh
like
yeah, yeah.
you are about to see a villain, and he
Hmm.
was basically embracing that fact, right? And the fact that LeBron is also wants to prove that I can get that fourth ring, that he will be the first player to ever won four championship in four different teams, basically, is is gonna be insane. It's insane. And I think the conversation between um, Michael Jordan 6 compared to his 4, if he gets it, and potentially 5, I think it outweighs the fact that he won in four different teams.
Hmm.
That's, I would say, a different, topic in
Yeah.
the future, but a lot of um what's the word, like a lot of the players in this team in Sixers is a lot to prove, don't you think?
Oh yeah. I think after they traded JB, I think he probably thought that they chose Tatum over me, man. They
Mm-hmm.
they think Tatum is better. They think they should build with Tatum in, as their number one guy and not me. So I thought already like this Sixers Celtics games are gonna be insane.
Mm-hmm.
I think
We know what's
they
happening
both,
in the
yep.
Christmas games.
Uh-huh. Uh-huh. They're both gonna have, something to prove. Tatum's not gonna back down. I think he's gonna prove, if Jaylen Brown had that season by himself when he was the number one, I can do that too. So I expect both of them to have an insanely good season next year. But yeah, LeBron, I mean, he still got it, man. I saw that in the playoffs last year. I think he's proving that, back in that Lakers last year, he was basically a role player, man. And he was almost like an afterthought out of the three of them, Reeves and Luca. He
Yep.
was he was not really the center of the world of Lakers, and he doesn't hold that much power last season. So I think he felt that too. So I think he's gonna prove that, hey, I still got it. I'm not a role player that you can just, be a lob threat or whatever the dirty plays or dirty jobs you want me to do. I still got it. I can still be a Hall of Famer kind of player. So I think he has a lot to prove. I think the whole 76ers roster, with the history of them not really achieving anything in the playoffs,
Mm-hmm.
has a lot to prove with Joel Embiid, with Tyrese Maxey, with everyone there. So I think it's it's nice to have, when you're a team like Sixers, it's nice to have really good players coming to your team, but I think the work still gotta start, and they still got a lot of things to fix. Like I said, the roles that they need to have for each other. So they all have a lot to prove for sure.
I think definitely. I think that's gonna fuel them into that championship, and I think this will be the last act of the process. Done. We trusted the process, and this is the last act. Truth be told, this next 2 years, this year and next year, if it doesn't work, I think this whole team needs to break it up. Focus on
Yeah,
one. Focus on one. Do we focus on JB? Do we focus on JB Maxi? Do we focus on, you know, keeping Maxi Joel? Like, do we? This is it.
that. that begs the question though. Does it tarnish LeBron's career if he doesn't win in Philly? With all the talent there, does that make it look bad?
Yes, yes, and we've proven this, and you guys can let us know. We've proven this with Kevin Durant jumping around to different talents and what he's done into Houston last season. This is my argument last time. He is not a leader, but there is a difference between these two. LeBron is a leader. We know this. And as much as I am a LeBron fan, I think it's definitely one of those things that yes, there's always the le GM vibes, right? If you do something bad, you get traded, but he's not in that, I think. He's not in that situation anymore. I think that leadership, that experience will be beneficial for this
Mhm.
team. Yes, people might think he is wherever he goes, he's just going to a team that is stacked. But truth be told, anywhere he goes, like what do you want him to go to Nets? Like, is that something that NBA fans would like to see? Like, do you want your favorite player to go to a team that doesn't win? That's what you want to do in NBA. You want to win. It's not about ring chasing. Because if you want a ring chase, he should have picked Spurs. He should have picked Knicks.
Mhm.
It's not ring chasing. So I'm already gonna abolish that situation, like argument, right? This is a very strong team. We can't disagree on that. But I think, they have a lot to prove. LeBron is definitely not like, I feel like we're hating on KD, but it's the truth. Like it's what's written basically in the history. But we just gotta trust the process and see where this goes.
The final destination, the final step
He did
of
say
the
that.
process, man.
He did say this is it. This is the final that's final
That
decision.
that tweet just give me chills, man. The way he speaks, it's almost the same as I'm back with with MJ, but it's gonna be
Pe-
insane, man. This is an
People are
insane
gonna forget. They're gonna
situation.
forget like this. They need to embrace it. I don't care if you're not a LeBron fan, for whoever fan, they need to embrace this. This next few
Mm.
years is gonna be insane
And
because you're
this
gonna miss
this
it.
is this is the last 2 years that you don't want to miss, that you just the 2 years that you're just still hating, because after 2 years you're not gonna see this guy again, man. This is a one in a generation, man.
That's
This is
true.
not this
But
is
two
not
years from
somebody you'll
now
see.
is the expansion, so we might see
Oof.
Le GM actually, but we
That's
will
gonna be
see.
insane.
But I'm excited for the process. This is gonna be exciting team. Definitely gonna pick up LeBron in the fantasy team. But
Oof.
Dan, we have a lot more LeBron talk about, but we'll see that next week. Cause incense are out.
Yes, sir. Damn. Thank you mga Insans for watching another Insans Out of Basketball. If you want more cousin talks,
Subscribe to be part of our group family. If you want more crazy takes, click on this next video.